Hello, everybody! It's time for another episode of the Kloss Show with the new and improved lighting and stand. Everything. It actually looks great on my phone right now. I know when it uploads, it doesn't look as good. But what I'm looking at right now, I wish I could get this onto YouTube. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't know if I have to put it in a software or something, which if no one goes out of their way to tell me, I'm not going to look it up. So, but anyway, hopefully it makes it look a little better. It'll make it more stable. People had some constructive criticisms about the how unstable the video was. It was a little too shaky. So that's good. People say the audio is fine though, which is the most important part to me. But hey, we'll get the video right too. We'll be good to go. Got the notepad and everything. We got a stand. We got a notepad. This is turning into a real motherfucking show, people. It got a dozen episodes, but this shit's turning around. We're turning it into a real motherfucking show here. And which I don't know if you noticed, I hit 12 subscribers. 12 motherfucking subscribers. Let's get a baker's dozen, which is kind of funny. I really thought these were gonna get 0 views. I'm getting like 3 or 4, anywhere from like 3 to 12 I seem to get at the most, which is fine. I'm not complaining. I'm actually kind of excited about it. I'm more excited that there's people out there who are like, let's go watch the Kloss Show, and it's actually slowly growing. And that kind of gets me excited to make my own little show going on here. That'd be so fun if, like, down the line I got, like, a couple hundred views per episode. That would be so awesome. If I could average, like, 100 views, I'd be so hype. That would be awesome. Anyway, but secretly I don't give a fuck. I'm just acting. I'm just pretending. Kloss doesn't give a fuck, I promise. Episode 12, I think, hopefully, that's this one. That's what I wrote down. Episode 12 on my notes here, just to keep me going. Wow, what in the fuck was I talking about when I wrote this shit down? Look at this shit. One of them just says Stephen King pedo ? And I know where I came up with that one, because I was listening to the Stephen King novel The Institute, which I think I talked about this a lot in the last episode, but basically he really sexualizes these kids when he's talking about them to, like, they're at, like, an adult level of sexualization. It's weird. It's beyond what kids these age actually think of, you know? And there's a gangbang in it, apparently. Allegedly. I haven't read it, and until I see it, I don't know if it's true or not. That's the words I live by. Like when, if I tell somebody about something on the news, I'm like, oh, did you see that this happened? They'll go, really? I don't know. I'm not sure. I wasn't there, so I'm not 100% positive, but I saw it on the news, and people seem to agree it happened. But aside from that, he really sexualizes these kids, and allegedly there is a child gangbang in the book, which I feel like it makes it wrong for me to say I want to get it just to see that in there. Like, that sounds perverted. But I'm curious now that that's in there. And maybe that's why he threw it in there. It'd be a great ploy. Just like, I'll throw a kid gangbang in there. And and people will fucking want to see it. And you know, I bet you there's a lot of actual pedophiles out there who, I mean, I haven't read it yet, but I'm just guessing if it's that big of a deal, that they probably are yakking off to this literature. Because erotic novels are for reals. There's people who really like just to read their porn. And more power to them. If that's how they want to get off, they want to read it off of a page, have at it. I feel like my eyes look crazy, but it's because I'm looking into this light like a nut job. Like, they look like they're not even looking the same direction to me on this video. I don't know how it looks to you. Well, we'll see. To break the fourth wall a little bit. But yeah, but I could see him doing it over the top, the gangbang. Sorry, I'm trying to stay on topic. To the other constructive criticism I got, stay on topic. I've got a topic, I'm trying to stick with it now. And the topic of the starting out the gate, I guess, is Stephen King a pedophile? Probably not, but we're going with it. Fuck it. I like his books a lot, by the way. So people are like, you're a hater. I every time that I need a new book, I'm like, what Stephen King shit do they have on here? If it's not nonfiction, the only fiction I really like is Stephen King, honestly. And I'm thinking about hitting the Dark Tower series back up. I read through it once, breezed through it, didn't really know a lot about the stuff that is told about it when I read it. Like, there's a lot of like drug mentions in there, like mescaline is in the first book. There's mescaline in it, and as a kid, I was like, I wasn't that young, but as a young teen, I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? And I think maybe if I give it another run through, if they're all on the Libby app, I'll give it a go. But that is a tale. That is a long. It's hard to commit. Like, there's like 7 of them. 6 or 7 books, 8 maybe. It's hard to commit to that many books. Maybe there's not that many. Maybe there's like 5, but still. I can't remember how many there are. I know the story, so that's kind of where I'm like, and I know what already happens. I'm sorry, on topic. Is Stephen King a pedo? He really sexualizes the kids in the Institute. Like, he's describing this one kid. He's coming of age, so I can kind of see having to have a little bit in there. He's like coming of age, looking at the girls. But he like gets, at the end, this kid, I'll get to that part later, but he describes the girls really weird. He's like, and how her hips moved when she walked. And he like described in detail how this girl's hips would move. And then re-referenced that part later in the book when she was walking later. Like, the next time it talks about her walking, she was sneaking up behind somebody, and it's like she snuck up behind him, her hips still moving that familiar way. And then I kept going, and I'm like, what the fuck? Why did he have to put that in there? Now I'm thinking about this 12-year-old's fucking ass again. What are you doing to me here? Come on, buddy. I don't want this. I don't like this part. Steven, come on, bud. And he's great overall, though. Like, don't let that deter you. Some of his stuff, like, there was one chapter, I didn't like the Institute overall. I thought it was too dramatic, too ridiculous, too obscene, and the kids, it was just out of touch, too. It was really out of touch how, like, when he makes biracial people, like, when he has black people in the story, he does not do a very good job of having realistic black people. They are like cartoons. They're ridiculous. They were most of the black characters in a Stephen King book remind me of the crows from that fucking elephant with the big ass motherfucking ears that got drunk as shit and started tripping or whatever he did. Oh my god, what is his name? What is that elephant's name? The Disney elephant, big motherfucking ears, flies around. They dressed him up like a clown firefighter at one point. Fuck me. They remade it. They remade it recently. Dumbo. Holy shit. Dumbo. Anyway, the fucking crows in Dumbo. Look up that scene. And I'm not gonna do this one. I do a lot of impersonations. I'm not gonna impersonate this one because it is outlandish. It paints an interesting story, but the Institute kind of sucked. The writing in it is great though. Like, if you just like how I am with film, where I like to see like I'll watch a movie if it has great cinematography. Like, if the camera's great. Like, there's a movie called, like, Bushwick, or Escaping Bushwick. It has Batista in it, the wrestler. The movie's horrible, but the camera work in the movie is fantastic. It is out of this world camera work, and everything else about the movie sucks. The acting, the story, the acting, it's trash. There's a nice little twist in the movie that I did like. I'm back off topic again. Real quick, if you stumble across the movie Bushwick, and you're into film, it's a good one. It's an okay movie. I should circle back around to this. I feel like I'm just going to bite in and we'll circle back to Stephen King being a pedophile. The movie Bushwick, starring Batista, and there was some hoe in it, I can't remember. basically, people are attacking New York City, unspecified Astanis or whoever the fuck. I don't know. Maybe they say it later. The story blows. Don't even pay attention to that. It's a good drop set, though. So, from that point, city's under attack. This hoe, sexy, so that's a bonus, is like, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? I'm trapped. I'm trapped out here in the chaos. What do I do? And she stumbles across Batista, who's like a random hermit by chance. But fuck it. And he has like skills and knows where everything is in the city. Like the gutter man coming in clutch. But he's yoked and has like fighting skills and killing skills. And he has a pistol. And she pairs up with him. But the whole movie is filmed with one camera following behind them the whole time. And it's filmed to look like it happened in one shot. There's a couple of times where like they'll get into a really dark area and you'll be like, oh, okay, this is obviously where they cut it here. But besides that, the editing is flawless. They do a great job on that. But the acting is just piss poor. Piss poor. They go on a great adventure trying to escape. And I won't spoil it for you. There is a little bit of a surprise if you're like, whoa, not every shit movie has one of those. Ooh, that was pretty good. So there's a little bit of a bonus. So I would recommend it. I would give it 1 thumb up, 1 thumb down on the old school scale. I'll give it a 6 out of 10, but it's a strong 6, almost like a 65. Like if 65 is passing, I give it a passing grade. 65 out of 100. It was pretty good. It was pretty solid. I mean, it wasn't pretty good. It was pretty bad, but it had good aspects of it, and I enjoyed it. Circling back to Stephen King. The writing in the book is great. That's what I was talking about. If you're into writing how I am into film, you would very much like anything he writes. Probably specifically The Institute, because he do be flexing it in this one a lot. Like he goes in, he does every type of scene written out in this at one time or another, aside from a sex scene. I don't think there was a sex scene. I don't remember there explicitly being a sex scene. He could have had one too. He could have had that cop bang that other cop that he was banging off page. He could have had a sex scene there if he wanted it. But he was flexing at times. And there was one where I really liked it. It was called The Escape, is the chapter. And it was like, there was a good build up to it too. Like, because it was like boring, build up. What are they doing? Build up. Gotta get out of here. I gotta get the fuck out of here. And it's like the name of the chapter and how the guy read it, because the reader was fantastic. And I'm just working away at work like, and it's like, chapter, whatever, The Escape. And it just like stops for a second. I was like, oh, fuck, yes. And then it was a struggle for this kid to make his escape too. Like it was gritty, it was descriptive. It had me white knuckling it a little bit at work. Like I probably slowed down a little bit at work listening to it. Like, oh, this is fucking good right now. That part of the book, if they would have had that and could have ended it, it'd have been like a great one-off. But after The Escape, which is fantastic, The Escape is great. That part is amazing. Highlight of the book to me. After The Escape is another 4 or 5 hours of book where, and then a team comes after him. Spoilers here on out. It's pretty spoiled at this point. I didn't give too much away. He escapes, if that makes any sense. So I guess that's a bit of a spoiler because you know what he goes into is bad, but they kind of make it clear that he's bad, or Stephen King makes it clear. I digress. After he escapes, this team comes after him, and there's a fucking shootout where a ton of people die, a ton of developed characters too, which was cool. Slightly developed, not the ones that he really developed. I was hoping he was going to kill off one of them, but he didn't. Where a lot of them die, and it was like, whoa, that was pretty crazy. People, both sides are suffering heavy casualties, and then I guess it's almost like the Rock movie, like him taking over, like, all right, I got these kids with me now. Let's fucking do it. We don't need anybody else. And the guy was a police officer, and I guess they weren't trusting the police at this point, but I'm like, just get it out there. Get the message out there in case you guys go and get lost. This isn't all wasted to nothing. Like, this fucking, just be like, hey, journalist, just post it on Facebook, something. Hey, I need a fucking journalist. Someone will be like, I got something crazy for a journalist. Someone will be like, okay, I'll fucking write about it. I feel like it's not that hard to get somebody who needs something to exploit. And just tell them real quick what the fuck happened on the phone. I don't even give a fuck. And then go in there. You had time. It was like a 3-hour trip to get where they needed to be. What's an extra half hour to that? Because planning wasn't much into this anyway, because both sides the whole time are like, what are we gonna do? From all directions, which makes it a little kind of crazy as well. But it was fun. It was fun. If you like action books, I guess that part's fun. But there's a shootout, and then they go back into the prison, which is, I hate that. It's what lost me on Prison Break, was when he started breaking in and out of prisons. I was like, this is fucking retarded at this point. So I immediately associated with that, which maybe it was just that type of conundrum, like that plot point I just don't like. And I was getting sick of the book at this point because it was overdrawn. There was already too many climaxes where I'm like, okay, there is at some point where you've had enough at this point. Just seal it together. And he was going too descriptive on the side characters that I didn't like, the unlikable characters that were, I don't know, it was just a pain at that point. But it ended, the ending kind of sucked too. The ending portion, really after the escape, the escape and then the shootout, if you want to just pretend that's where the book ends and back, and then they lived happily ever after, or just skip until the end part and just smush that chapter in, smush the last chapter in right there, it won't change anything, and you won't have to endure, like, ridiculousness of, like, the kids being like, put our Care Bear powers together! And, like, you'll miss out on that, and it'll be much more enjoyable. I'm sure no one is going to read that off this recommendation. And who the hell is watching the Kloss Show that reads books? And I'm not reading it, by the way, nerds. Don't think I'm over here sitting on a couch with a light, sitting there pondering over a novel. That's not what's fucking happening at all. I got my headphone in and I got sick of listening to idiots on podcasts. So I'm like, I'll listen to an idiot who actually took the time to write a fucking book. And I was doing nonfiction. I figured I'd switch it up, dip my toe into some fiction, because I had to like Stephen King historically. So I got a good bit out of that. I'm getting better at staying on topic, boys. I think we're pulling it together here. That was pretty good. These are really just, God. These were really patchy topic ideas that I have put together. The ones that I don't end up using when I get sick, I'll read them off at the end so you guys can be like, what the fuck was he talking about? That might just be funny on its own. But on my birthday weekend, I didn't do it on the day of my birthday, I was like, you know what? I'm going to fucking celebrate how I want to do it. I don't give a fuck what the social norm is. Oh, did you go out and do this? You go spend a fuck ton of money, idiot? No. I went and bought, it was like $2.90-something quart of ice cream. It was Moose Tracks, but it had a different name because the ice cream was chocolate instead of vanilla. But besides that, it was the exact same as Moose Tracks. All the same ingredients, switch out vanilla for chocolate. That's what I had. And I ate half of it in one sitting. And I was like, you know what? This shit is so fucking good. If I don't get this over with now and get it over with hard, I'm going to want this again. So before I was even craving it again, I grabbed that extra half gallon thing, maybe. It's got the cardboard lid. I don't know. It's like this big and like that tall. It's a fuck ton of ice cream. It's numerous pounds of ice cream. Anyway, I pulled that fucker back out and just started eating it. I just started eating it. And I liked it at first, like, oh yeah, this shit is good. But about 5-6 bites in, when the brain freezes kick in and you're getting too sugared, you're like, yeah, I just don't want any more. I made myself eat more. And there was still a lot left to eat. There was still like a little more, maybe less than a third, more than a quarter left in there. And I'm eating it down. And I'm just not enjoying it. Like, I'm like, oh, why do I don't? This isn't good anymore. This is bad. And I'm just made sure to ruin it for myself. That way, I would not crave this ice cream again for the foreseeable future. I wouldn't want it. I wouldn't want that craving coming around like, ooh, you could go get that ice cream. It was only $3, you idiot. So I'm only going to allow myself to have that on my birthday. Maybe once or twice a year. I probably wouldn't even make this a regular thing, but I don't want it for the foreseeable future because I ate it until I was disgusted. It was all in my beard, all over my shirt, all over the place. I got on my hands. I got on the couch. I was like, now I have a mess to clean up. Look at yourself. When I got in the mirror, I'm trying to clean my face off. Going, look at you. You fucking disgusting. You didn't even want that. You just kept scarfing it down just to really throw it off that I'm not going to want this. Like, I pounded it into myself, like, to the point where now I'm going to look at that and I hope it makes me a little disgusted because there's no reason to eat it. And that's how you stay fucking skinny, people. That is how you fucking stay skinny. That's how you avoid being that type of guy who has to wear on the regular, your day-to-day shirts are those fucking mega size shirts you get at Walmart that all have jokes on them because they're cheap as fuck and they're huge. It's like the only massive shirts you can get cheap all have jokes on them. It'll be like, gas comes from Uranus, ask me if I care. And then if you like fold up the inside, it'll be like, I don't. Just dumb shit like that. And it'll be like Mario with a bunch of mushrooms, just massive size shirts. And that's how you avoid being somebody who wears those on the regular with the pit stains in it, going around smelling like shit, is getting yourself disgusted with stuff that actually is disgusting. That is, if you really think about what ice cream is, it's fucking disgusting. It's gross. It came out of a dirty cow udder that's been dragging on the ground, the shit ground. They shit in, they stay in these little pens and they shit on the ground and drag their fucking udders through it. And then some old guy comes out barehanded and I know it's done mechanically a lot of times now, but it's okay. So some fucking barely maintained machine probably goes up to it. It's probably got rust on the fucker and just and fucking force sucks the milk out of this goddamn thing. And then they add a ton of chemicals and preservatives to it and sugar. And then even more with the fucking chocolate and peanut butter they're doing. I thought a bug was on my hand for a second. It was this tape. It felt like a bug. I started freaking out. The shit with the candy that's in there is probably even worse. God fucking sakes. So just think about that too. So who needs to be eating that? I know I eat a lot of cheese and it's the same process, but I don't even eat a lot of cheese. I feel like it sounds ridiculous if you say I eat a lot of cheese. But I have a slice of cheese on a sandwich. I probably average, if you took all my cheese consumption, I average a slice of cheese a day. That's probably what it comes out to be in. I did at one point, this is a good one, my buddy, same one who complained, shout out, I'm just going to say the threat. I'm not going to play his buddy's name out there, but shout out to the threat. He was the one that had the good constructive criticism of this light, and I think it looks great so far. I think it's making for a much better show. It's making for a much better show, and we'll see how it comes out, see what the viewers think. Hopefully I would love to get 10 likes. Come on, 10 likes, people. Let's go. 10 likes. That would be dope if everybody liked it. If everybody that subbed liked it. Just go ahead and like it. I'll like it too. I always like it myself. If it only says as one like, that's because I liked it. So, I always like them. What the fuck was I talking about? Liking the video, the threat. Oh, the cheese, grommet, cheese. I had, at one point, I got into cheese, like good cheeses, but I didn't have like any way to store it. I was staying in the dorms in Japan, where I was stationed at one time. And I was getting into cheese because at that point, it's like, sometimes in the off months, there's not as much to do, and you've been there for a year and a half at this point, and you're like, after work, I kind of just want to fuck off and chill in my room. I'm sick of these people. And I got into eating cheese because I had a lot at the on-base store in the commissary. They had a bunch of cheeses there. And they had, good, I don't know what you'd call it. I'm going to call it a designer cheese. An artisan cheese, maybe? An artisan cheese. But they had all these ones I'd never heard of there. I was like, ooh, I'll try these out. Hated most of them. Half of them, at least, I didn't like. But it did turn out, people weren't lying when they said the stinkier it is, the better it is. Like, but that getting it in your mouth part is like, now this is awesome. This is great in the mouth now. But the whole up point, you're like, what the fuck? And then it's like, it's literally, it smells like you're putting I don't know, like, my fellow plumbers out there will know. When you get into a drain, sometimes there's just like black shit that gets clogged out, and you're just like, let me just pick it out of there. And that smell, it doesn't smell like that, but imagine just taking something that smells that bad and just being like, this is going in my mouth. It's going in there. But at the end, it tastes good for some reason because everyone told you to. But that smell never goes away. So I'm always like, what the fuck? But it tastes good. I don't know. It's kind of ridiculous that people do that, and I did it at one time. It was fun, but I got into the cheese, and at one point I got sick and tired of putting them in their own bag, that I just got a gallon bag and put them all in there, all these different cheeses. And my buddy, the threat, came to my room. We were playing Xbox, and I'm like, dude, you want some different cheese? I got all these different cheeses. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, I got this, and I pulled that out. He's like, what the fuck is that? I'm like, this is my cheese bag, dude. And I got like fancy crackers. I don't know if he tried it. I can't remember specifically, but I remember being heavily made fun of for the cheese bag. And as I think about it now, I'm like, that is fucking ridiculous. But fuck it, dude. I was having a good time. Wasn't bothering nobody with my cheese bag. I ate all the cheese. It's not like I let it rot in a bag and become weird smelling shit. It was fine. I ate it fast enough. But God, oh my lord, the shit after that. I shouldn't even talk about that yet. I can't be describing how that type of stuff goes yet. I got to get more than 12 subs before I deeply explain something like the bathroom stuff. I got to get more subs than that before that. When we get more sub goals, I'll tell a funny bathroom story because I got some ridiculous ones that don't even touch upon that one. What else we got over here? Oh, that could be a good one. So, I got a small town tale that was a requested staple topic. I don't think I'm ever gonna have staple topics. They might come and go here and there. Like, I was trying to do rap lyric of the week, then I kept forgetting to write them down or even find one or keep track of the ones that were sent to me. And that'll come back. It's gonna happen. I'll come by and be like, oh, here's a rap lyric of the fucking week. And people be like, does he do it every week? No, this is the first time he's done it in 2023 or whenever year that gets to. And, which if I can keep, you guys will be surprised how resilient I am. If you guys are thinking, you won't be doing this by 2022. Shit, if I got 12 people watching me still by then, that's 12. I will fucking hang in there for some shit. I'll hang in there for the fuck of it, just for the fun of it. Kill a little time. It's fun. I like making the show. I love talking and bullshitting, and this is like getting to bullshit to people, but nobody being there, so I don't have to fucking have anybody over. I can just get the bullshittery out and be done with it, and then just chill out and just be like, yeah, I didn't have to walk anybody out, didn't have to have that weird time where you want them to leave, or they want to leave and you still want people to chill. It's, this just gets it out easier. It's like yakking off, but for my fucking talking. For my fucking chief running mouth over here. Okay, for the small town tale. One time I was staying at my buddy, distant relative's house. He's my buddy. He's also my distant relative. And we had a whole bunch of people staying over there. I think his parents were out of town or something, so we were doing some acting up. Underage acting up at that point. And he was passed out in his bed. There's a bunch of people at this point. And he had on his PS4, he had music playing on it. But what ended up happening was it ended up getting put on repeat. And that song that goes, holla, holla, we them boys. Holla, holla, we making noise. Wait, I think that's how it goes. Like, we them boys. I'd have to look it up exactly how it goes. But it's called We Them Boys. Maybe it's Wiz Khalifa. I don't even fucking know who sings it. Wiz Khalifa, I could see it being him. Chief Keef, maybe? It's shot in the dark, Well, I don't know, somebody who yells a lot. Dextar? No, it was before his time. Anyway, so that was playing over and fucking over and over and over all fucking night long, and I could not find the controller. And I'm like, where the fuck is the fucking controller? Just looking and looking, and I just, we them boys, over and over. I couldn't find it. And I'm like, oh my God, where the fuck is it? And I say, fuck it, I'm going out into the living room. And I go out into the living room. People are on all the couches. There's one little love seat, just like a 2-cushion couch. And I'm like, fuck it, I'll lay on this fucking thing. And I lay on that, and this nasty pug. Ah, God, pugs are so gross. The memes about pugs are always so true because they always look like they're deformed. Their eyes don't look right. God, it just comes up and it just lays right on me. Just gets on me, and it stinks, and its eyes are all nasty, and it's wet. It's everything on this dog. The whole dog is wet for some reason, just a moist dog. And it's like, it starts making these noises like, and I'm like, fuck me, dude. This fucking dog has now claimed this couch. I can't get it the fuck off. I try to push it off, and it will just climb back on there. I guess that's where it sleeps. I'm fucking him over, if anything. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't sleep here either. This is fucking terrible, and I'm lit up. Already the hangover is setting in at this point. I've been up so long. And I'm like, what do I fucking do? I go in I'm like, if I go down that hallway, you can't sleep over there. So, fuck it. And I just ended up succumbing to laying there all night just to, we them boys, with like a fucking foam football pillow, a pillow that was shaped like a football, just sleeping on that, no blankets, in this addition onto this house, cheap built cob job addition that had shoddy insulation too, just laying there like, fuck me, this is fucking terrible. That was the last time I think I stayed over there. After that, I just was like, I will walk home while I still have the energy, because at this point it was past the point of walking home. I was like, I will walk home. There is no way. I'm getting home one way or another. If the cabs aren't open, shout out to Max Safe Ride, doing great work out there. Max Safe Ride, shout out to them. If I can't catch that one, if I'm done before then, I will walk home. This is outlandish. There is no way, because I will not drink and drive. People, do not drink and drive. It's terrible. You're gonna kill a kid. You're gonna kill a whole family. Baby on board, you're gonna ram right the fuck into them and kill everybody inside, getting you a manslaughter, or I don't even know, do you get a murder charge for that now? Who the fuck knows? I don't read up on that type of stuff. Laws, you should know them, but if you just don't do that, I guess you don't need to pay as much attention to the law. If you don't drink and drive, you don't have to read up on it as much. Probably differs state to state, like most stuff does, which is just ridiculous to me, but fuck it. Because, I mean, I guess I kind of like it, because, and then that way, if you don't like how your state is, you can just move and go somewhere it is. Like, if you grew up in Washington, maybe I don't know a lot about Washington. I think they have strict gun laws there. I don't know, though. Don't take me on it. And you're like, God, I just love firearms. It's a great hobby of mine. I love the velocity of the bullets and the different fucking shit with them, and chambering and just slides, and if you just super into it, grips, whatever the fuck, gun words, shooting, bullets coming out, ammunition, just sorry saying off stuff, gun, trigger. If you're into that and you're like, I'm gonna move to fucking Texas because they got that shit there, I like that they have the two parallels. Or if you're just like, I'm deathly afraid of guns, you can fuck it, go move to somewhere they don't be letting you have them easily. Just stop complaining about, unless you're like, it has to change where I live. Why do I have to change what I'm doing for the fucking betterment of everything? How about that? So you can actually have communities. Again, please, come on, people. I don't even know what it would like, because like when I was a kid, it's like the teachers know your parents and they know. It's like people. There's accountability. There's accountability. Oh my God, I sound so ridiculous. There's accountability, and I think that's why. Which I don't know shit, so I shouldn't say I think. But there was accountability a lot back then, and I hated it. I would have rather been not held accountable. But I think it does make you better in the long run, because I am very disciplined. anything. Saving money at not overeating, and not a day goes by, especially how they got places set up. Like, I gotta drive by so many fast food burger places. I love fast food burgers so much. Oh, I love fast food burgers and soda. Oh, that shit, just talking about it. Fuck, that shit is so good. I love that shit. And I gotta drive by them every day. Rallies, Burger King, even a Whopper, dude. Fuck, Wendy's is the best. Big Macs, they got billboards for it everywhere. David's Burgers, it's Five Guys, it's fucking everywhere. And I've got to fight it off every day. Not to just, no, don't spend your money on that shit. You got ground turkey at home. You're going to make a dope ground turkey burger at home for way less. It's not going to, and it's going to be healthy. It's going to be, for the most part, it's still ground meat, but it's going to be, it's turkey. I think it's good for you. People who know, is ground turkey burgers good for me? To me, I feel like I'm eating healthy when I'm eating ground turkey burgers. Because I don't do anything ridiculous with them. I just cook them, and I've got a fucking avocado that I'm going to put on there. I got an avocado. I'm putting that shit on everything for this foreseeable future until I get sick of it. I like those from time to time. They're just a pain in the ass to open. Like, I don't know do I have to get a cleaver for this? I'll do it. I'll get a fat fucking blade if it's needed for avocadoing. I'll figure it out. I got a buddy from California. He's coming back. I gotta ask him. He'll know a thing or two about avocados. God, if I knew how I got to this topic, I'd be circling back to it. But I think I did pretty good today. You guys let me know. I know I think I have a total of 2 comments on all of my videos, which is fine by me. If you don't want to comment, I don't blame you, because who is actually commenting on shit? Like, who is actually being like, yeah, first? Somebody could do that on all my videos for the most part. A lot of them, somebody could be first on a lot of them still. So, not a big high bar there, people. But if you could like it, I would. That's fine. If you don't have it open in the app or something, and it'd be weird for you to have to open it. Fuck it. Don't do all that. But if it's already right there and you could just like double tap it or something, just please, that'd be cool. I'd love to get to 10 likes. That would be a very cool milestone to hit. I had a lot more topics. I'm gonna fire a couple out and we'll see if any of them catches my fancy. Cause we might get a whole fucking show out of this, people. You might get a whole actual. This might be the beginning of this show turning into a real podcast. I'm getting better at taking notes and thinking about stuff throughout the week and trying to be extra descriptive, staying on topic, getting a little bit better lighting and a stand. So we might be hitting something here, but I'm not going to try much harder than this. This is about as much as I can put in, because this was just not as much trying as it was just focusing in. This thing was $17. This light thing. This was $17. Or $14 maybe. 14 and change? $14.50, something like that. I could check. I'll check the Amazon if you really want to know. This is some stuff I wrote down. These was a way that somebody pronounced these words. Somebody, instead of saying reputable company, I heard them pronounce it reputable company. They say, that's a reputable company. I was like, a what? Reputable company. You know, reputable company. They do good work. They do good work there. Reputable company. So I thought that was fun for the show. I wrote that one down. Didn't have to hit up Not the Onion this time for some news. Overeem, we didn't talk about UFC. Overeem, oh my god, that was the take him out back card. That was like this fucking Helen, what was it? Not Helen Keller. Oh, Helen Yeller. Oh, Yeller, not Helen Keller. Oh, Yeller. It's like they took it out back, like that knee that landed on Frankie Edgar, Hall of Famer, fought for a championship, I believe, in two weight classes, was working on his third, top 5 ranked contender in 3 weight classes. Went out there, and to get knocked out, where you just get knocked out and it's like Medusa did something to you, because he just was locked in place. Like, his hands didn't move, he just got clocked and he just stayed in place and fell over like a fucking movie. Woo! Extremely quickly too. Oh man. That was fucking crazy. That was a fuck, and it was like a minute in. So that was like they took him out back and shot him. They're like, oh yeah, we get some good. Fuck it, just take him out back and shoot him. Time for him to retire at that point. And Overeem, the matchup I knew was not gonna go his way. I was like, Volkov versus Overeem. This is they're setting Overeem up with this one. People are like one last run because Glover Teixeira did it. Got in a position where should be fighting for a title at age 41, and people are like, oh, I think Overeem's like the same age. He's like 40, 41, something like that. People are like, oh, one last run, he could get to a title shot. No way he's getting through Curtis Blades, but absolutely zero no way he was getting through Volkov. It was 2 punch combinations in. If people were like, the Reem can do it, then they're out of their mind. They're crazy. That was an execution. They put on 2 executions there that night, and that was crazy. So that will go down as the take him out back and just put him out the pasture card. What else did we write down? Oh yeah, I missed a couple of things about the Institute, but that's fine. I'll put it in as an anecdote here at the end. The bad guys in the Institute literally have like evil laughs, and the person that read them kind of did it too. Like there's like, sit back, and then we're gonna keep using the kids. Like they literally had like evil laughs. Like all the characters had like their own different evil laugh. I thought that was pretty ridiculous. Anything else we missed? I wrote here, want to learn if someone is a fool? Ask them if they voted. If they say yes, there's something wrong with them in one way or another. Only the real woke people don't vote. It's not worth the time. Save your time. Save your money and save your time. Get woke. Like me. Get on boys. Oh, this was a question that people say sometimes. So like, well, Kloss, no, people don't say it like that, but, well, Kloss, how do you just stop spending when they talk about, when I try to help them with budgets, they're like, well, how do you stop spending? How do you stop spending? And I'm like, that's where I kind of have a mental lapse because I don't know what it's like in their brains. And I'm like, just don't do it. Just don't buy something. Like, just don't go. You don't have to. It's a physical act of doing it. Like you're doing a thing. Just don't do that thing anymore, and you won't have that problem. Easy as that. I was like, sometimes I go days without buying something. Like, you don't have to buy something. No one's forcing you to make purchases. Like, I don't understand why they're like, how do you stop spending? Just the same way you stop doing anything. The same way you stop watching TV. You turn it off. And you go. I guess it would. Now I'm talking it out. I can almost see a little bit of where a spending addiction can happen. Where if you're like, all right, cool, I'm not going to spend. I'm going to go home. I'm going to watch some Hulu. And you turn on the Hulu and it's like advertisement marketing. And there's like subliminal shit in the shows too. Or if you're like, oh, fuck it. Okay, I can't take this. I'm going to listen to some music. And you put it on and like they're paid. Like, you don't think Balenciaga's paying these rappers to beg, I want the Balenciagas, the ones that look like socks. Like, these are the clothing looks stupid, and people are buying it because of them. I guess marketing and people thinking it's a good, reputable brand. I don't know what the fuck it is, but supply and demand, other bullshit. There's a bunch of other reasons. We won't delve into that, but just don't. I don't know. Just don't do it. Like, I can see where it'd be hard with the amount of money these companies pour into getting you to spend. It's probably the same reason I got to fight eating fast food cheeseburgers just about every day. And if you want to know how often I give in to eating a fast food cheeseburger, there were some 2 for $5 Whoppers. I had that on the Super Bowl. I got that for the Super Bowl. That was my Super Bowl treat. And before that, I hadn't had a fast food burger in at least 2 months. So I do pretty good at holding back the urge. It was at least 2 months. if not 3. I'm trying to think of when McDonald's had a $2 any burger in if you buy it in the app coupon, and what they failed to take off was the double quarter pounder bacon, the double bacon quarter pounder burger fucking thing with like everything on it. It's like loaded with, and it's got like lettuce and tomato. And I was like, fuck yeah, give me that. And I hit up that fucker for $2 like 2 or 3 times before they took it off. Now there's not really anything even on there. Like a Big Mac for $2. I'm like, I guess is cool and all, but a Big Mac only has 2/10 of a pound of meat on it. So that's not very good bang for your buck there for me. I'd rather just make one at home at that point. So I could see why that would be a little hard to shake a spending addiction. But in reality, like, just don't spend the money. Just break the habit, and it'll get easier over time. I don't know what you got to do. If you have to fucking cancel every credit card, you're probably buried in credit card debt, though, and can't. It is tough. You almost got to have a handler at some point, really help you, and sit there and be like, you almost have to have somebody set your bills up for you online and just have somebody that you trust control it, because some people fuck themselves so bad where I'm like, this is almost, you have to take a class on how to manage your shit. This is so unmanaged here. Some people's finance, they just don't. Oh, like the prepay cards. If people just be having their money on the prepay cards, oh my god. I'm like, how do you function? Like, how do you not have any bills like on auto pay, or like, oh god, like, whew, I don't know. It would fucking stress me out at all. I would be stressed at all times if I was like, didn't know, like, if I was like, oh shit, I gotta remember to pay my phone bill. Like, what the fuck? God, that would be, it is so much less stress to have them all on auto pay, and most companies will charge you less, especially if you ask to set up an auto pay. They'll give you a little discount, and you just have it on a nice, good rewards credit card, so you're getting a little bit back too. So that helps me be like a little bit, get a little stressed off. Like, oh, this is kind of, these bills are a little bit is going in the piggy bank for a vacation here. So, and you gotta pay bills. Like, it's not like you're not gonna get out of that. So, but I think having that all in auto pay on a nice, good rewards card is step 1 to helping yourself out. And then get your rewards card on auto pay with your bank account, so that it pays on payday before you even fucking get home. Because most people live paycheck to paycheck. So this is what I have most people do. Before you even can get home and touch that fucking money, bang, it pays off all your bills. Everything goes to that credit card. Boom. And then make sure you have in your mortgage or whatever, just make sure you got that money. You gotta have that money in an account every month. Keep that on auto pay. You have to, that's the first thing you gotta do. I have to get $700 or whatever. That's probably low as shit. I have to get $900 in this fucking bank account before I do anything. I have to put that in there. Like, people be just delinquent on so many payments. It's crazy. Or just shit's all, or my bills get paid. My bills get paid. Okay, well, let's shave the fat off and get you now from my bills get paid, because you're doing a good job with that, to my bills are getting paid in this direction and at this time, and let's get a system in place for you here. That'd be great. If most people just put a little system, if they thought about their money as a system, they'd do a lot better. And look at this, fucking Christ, every week I get about talking about fucking money. I don't know how I do it. God, I even told myself, rewatching last week, because I've been rewatching them to see where I can improve. Rewatching last week, I was like, dude, you talk about money every fucking single week, and here I am doing it again. God, I hope YouTube lets me upload a video this long. I'm not a partner channel or anything, so I think I'm going to cut it off here, people. We're coming in at 50 minutes. I don't even know if it'll let me upload this whole thing. This has been a fun episode. I hope you enjoy. Leave a like. As always, this has been the Kloss Show. don't have a good outro yet.